Namaste, everyone. Welcome to Shubham Alok Astrology once again. In continuation to the video I posted yesterday, today we are going to learn about the second Navamsha. Out of the 9 forms of Devi, the second form is known as Brahmacharini. And this second form of Devi, named Brahmacharini, is related to the second Navamsha of any sign. The second Navamsha is from 3 degree 20 minute to 6 degree 40 minute. That means to say, if any planet in any sign is from 3 degree 20 minute to 6 degree 40 minute, that planet should be considered as being placed in the second Navamsha or second Navansh, the technical word. Navansh, the 9th person of the sign, the second Navansh. The second Navansh is ruled by the second form of Devi, that is known as Brahmacharini. As I told you in the previous video yesterday, that Sati, the first wife of Shiva, immolates herself in the fire which Daksh Prajapati lightened for a Vedic sacrifice. And then there's a long story, devastation happened. Shiva kills Daksha for Sati, and Vishnu, using his discus, chops the body of Sati into different pieces, and whenever those pieces fall, there are different Shakti Pithas on those places where the body parts of Sati fell. And then Sati takes rebirth as Parvati. The 9 incarnations of Devi are not only the 9 incarnations of Devi, but the 9 incarnations of Devi also, according to me, right, this is my understanding, according to me, the 9 Devis that come in Durga Shakti also hints at the progress of Parvati. The progress of Parvati from her birth to attaining godhead with Shiva. The first Devi was Shailaputri, the son of the Himalayas, the son of the mountains, the literal meaning, right? The second Devi is Brahmacharini. The first Navamsha, the first Devi, Shailaputri, had some childish thoughts inside her. She was just a young lady. This Brahmacharini, the second format of Devi, the second Navamsha, is still a young child, but now in her senses. This is somewhere from the 10th year of age up to the 17th year of age. 10th year of age up to the 17th, 18th year of the age. Imagine Parvati as a lady somewhere between 10 years to the 18 years of her age. That is Brahmacharini. Brahmacharini indicates the aspect of penance, hard work, the austerities that Parvati went through to achieve Shiva. That austerities, those hard work, that penance is indicated by the second Navamsha. Any planet in this Navamsha does indicate that penance needs to be done related to the signification of the planet. Penance or hard work needs to be done if you want to save the significations of that planet. The second Navamsha in itself will pose a challenge to every planet. For an example, if you are having Sun in the second Navamsha, at least once in life there will be a challenge to your authority. If moon is in the second Navamsha, then at least once in life you will be challenged by something which you know is temporary. Moon does indicate challenge from someone just before, moon is more like, suppose you know that someone is going to get transferred. So you tend to become very, tension free about the person, that he is just going to get transferred, what he will do. He's now going. Right? But just before his transfer, the person does something bad to you. That is what is indicated by moon. Any planet in the second Navamsha, a lot of penance, a lot of hard work related to the signification of that planet needs to be done. So Venus is in the second Navamsha. You have to do a lot of hard work to get a woman, to get your wife, to get a girlfriend. If Mercury is in the second Navamsha, you will be very bad in mathematics. And you have to do a lot of hard work, you have to do a lot of revisions to understand mathematics. If you are in Jupiter, then you will have to put some extra efforts to understand something. Anything that comes easily to everyone will not come easily to you. You will have to do some extra hard work for that. To understand the same thing which others can easily understand, you will have to put some extra hard work. If the seventh lord is in the second Navamsha, your marital life needs a lot of focus. Your marital life needs a lot of work. Your marital life will demand you to compromise and work together. Your marital life will compromise that. Sorry, your marital life will demand that. That you both of you couple work together to achieve a harmonious relationship. Other people may have a good relationship by matchmaking or good dasha, antardasha or understanding or anything. But if the seventh lord is in the second Navamsha, then no matter even if the couple gets married after a long 18-19 years long affair, even in that scenario, there will be struggle to settle down in the marriage. So that's the prime indication of the second Navamsha, the struggle, the penance, the austerities that Parvati have to do to get Shiva. That's the first thing. The second thing is Dharma. The planet in the second Navamsha, that planet can be extremely detrimental to you if you don't follow the dharma related to the planet. Continuing with the previous example, suppose you have the seventh lord in the second Navamsha. Your marital life can be happy, can be bad. Doesn't matter. Any situation, be it good or be it bad, doesn't matter. You have to remain faithful to your spouse. You have to remain devoted to your spouse. You cannot go against the rule. If you go, then not only marriage, the prime signification of the seventh house will get disturbed, but other significations of the seventh house such as business, partnership, litigations, etc. will also get in a problem. So planet in the second Navamsha somehow is also indicative of that more than one signification of the planet will activate simultaneously. And if the person is not righteous in the signification of that planet, then other significations will get activated in a very bad way, and the consequences will be unbearable. For an example, if Sun is in the second Navamsha, then you will have authority, but you should not misuse it. Because if you start misusing your authority, then Sun being in the second Navamsha will give you problems from other significations of himself. So Sun also signifies the other signification of the Sun will tend to hit you, right? Authority is indicated by Sun. Government is also indicated by Sun. Animals with horns is also indicated by Sun. So what tends to happen if the sun is in the second Navamsha and if you misuse your authority, then in that scenario, government can be behind you. Government can unnecessarily trouble you. Policemen or politicians may necessarily trouble you. Anyone with horns can unnecessarily trouble you. Right? That can happen. You have to remain careful. Because brahmacharini have a major word, brahmacharya. Brahmacharya indicates the aspect of acharan, means acting like Brahma, God. So brahmacharya means acting like God or acting on God. So brahmacharya is not only celibacy. Brahmacharya is thinking God, living God, contemplating God, everything God. Everything in the sense of God is what brahmacharya means, right? So that's important. You have to realize the divine quality of the planet in the second Navamsha. When Venus is in the second Navamsha, you have to go beyond the mean significations of Venus. You have to go beyond the lower significations of Venus and should aim at the higher significations of Venus. When Venus is in the second Navamsha, see, Venus will indicate love, pure love, and will also indicate sexuality. When Venus is in the second Navamsha, between 3 degree 20 minutes to 6 degree 40 minutes in any sign, in that scenario, your focus should be the divine love and your focus should not be sexuality. If you ever make even a single relationship because of sexuality, then the significations of Venus will trouble you. So you have to be very, very careful that no matter how deprived you are, you should never make a relationship just based on sexuality. You should never make a relationship just based on mean desires. That's the lesson that comes with the second Navamsha because of brahmacharini. If you have seen brahmacharini have a Rudraksh mala in her hands. Doing the mantra of the planet in the second Navamsha is very beneficial and auspicious. The mantras of the planet in the second Navamsha is very beneficial and very auspicious. That's fine, that's okay. But you know what's more to this? Deities signify planets. Planets signify deities. All the planets ruled by the planet that comes in the second Navamsha are very easy to pacify. They will easily bless you. For an example, suppose you are having Venus in the second Navamsha. Venus is indicative of Lakshmi. Venus is indicative of any female deity. Venus is also indicative of Indra. Venus is also indicative of Shiva. Hence, when Venus is in the second Navamsha, Indra Lakshmi, and Shiv. If you worship these three deities, you can expect quick results. You can expect quick favors. So there is always a question. There is always a dilemma in the mind of every astrologer. Suppose someone is having a health issue. You will probably recommend him Mrityunjay mantra. But Mrityunjay mantra is a Shaiva mantra. There are Vaishnav mantras for health as well. There are Shakta mantras for health as well. There are mantras for the benefit of health in every tradition. In Hinduism, there are basically 5 traditions. So which mantra you should give? That comes from this thing. If Venus is in the second Navamsha and someone is having a health problem, then Mrityunjay mantra is good, because Venus signifies Shiva also. But if at the same time Venus is not in the second Navamsha, but Mercury is, then Mercury by no means indicates Shiva. Mercury indicates Krishna, Mercury indicates Vishnu, etc. In that scenario, when only Mercury is in the second Navamsha for health problem, rather than giving Mrityunjay mantra, you should focus on giving Narayana mantra, Om Namo Narayana. This mantra should be given for health problems, and that will work better as compared to Mrityunjay mantra. This is one of the biggest parampara secret for remedies that I have revealed just now. Take a note, because no one in the complete astrological fraternity can teach you this. No famous YouTuber who make astrology videos can teach you this. Right? This is the pure parampara knowledge that I am sharing with you. People don't know about such secrets. You try it yourself and leave the feedback in the comment section below. This is being practiced in my family since last 400 years at least. And we have seen it working generations by generations. Year after year, these remedies, year after year, these techniques have proved their merit. There is no iota of doubt about it. One more thing is there. If you look at Brahmacharini, she is always cladded in white. That's how Brahmacharis are supposed to look. But the white color is indicative of 2 things: knowledge and being alone. Any planet in the second Navamsha, you will possess knowledge related to the signification of that planet. In the first Navamsha, it was talents. When Mercury is in the first Navamsha, you have the talents of speaking, you have the talents of oratory. Whereas when Mercury is in the second Navamsha, Mercury indicates mathematics. When Mercury is in the second Navamsha, you may not be a good speaker, you may not be a good orator. That's a skill set that comes from the first Navamsha. In the second Navamsha, it is knowledge. So when Mercury is in the second Navamsha, you will have knowledge about mathematics. When Venus is in the second Navamsha, you will have knowledge about sexuality. You will love to read sexuality. When Saturn is in the second Navamsha, no matter you come from a commerce background or an arts background, but you will love to read about machines and cars, because that's what Saturn indicates, engineering. Also Mars also indicates engineering. Sun in the second Navamsha, no matter from which background you are, but you will love to read political stories. You will love to read political encounters. That's what Sun will indicate. That's the type of knowledge that Sun gives you. So, planet in the second Navamsha, the person will be interested in having knowledge related to the signification of those planets. Right. And lastly, second house also indicates being alone. So if you have any planet in the second, then related to the signification of that planet, your decision will be different of what everyone in your family did. Suppose someone is having Venus in the second Navamsha and everyone in his family did a love marriage. He will be the guy, he will be the only guy who will not do a love marriage. Mercury in the second Navamsha. Mercury indicates education. If Mercury is in the second Navamsha, it is indicative of that everyone in his family took the same stream of studies, but the native took a different path. Native took a different way. Native made a different choice. These are few of the implications of the second Navamsha as I understand them by correlating the second Navamsha to the second form of Devi known as Brahmacharini. Thank you for giving your time and watching the video. Namaskar.